Hey,
all right.
let's go. All right.
Hello, welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone. That's Kelvin Rozier, enthusiastic about the start of, I'm sure, fall camp, which is less than 24 hours away. That's also Marcus Green. I'm Bryan Fulford. We are the O&G StrikeZone. Good to be here on another Wednesday night for another loaded episode. Plenty of news and notes surrounding Florida A&M University athletics and culture that we like to talk about as we kind of put a bow on the end of season 3. Coming up, I think next week we'll officially be into season number 4. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it. Season 4 begins next week. As we are here at the end of our 3rd season here on the Black College Sports Network. It's been a labor of love and passion, and it's good to be here with you. Marcus, Kelvin, how are you guys doing tonight?
I am
doing good. You know, everything's going well. You know, on the brink of football practice.
Yeah, it's selling whoop tickets.
Rebuilding season and coming back season. So everything, some things under construction, some things are.
I like that.
Put in the work.
Well appropriate. I like you, Kelvin. Got the pom poms. You got the construction hat. I see you guys are well themed and well put together. I love it.
Champions, baby.
Yeah. Season number 3 coming to a close. Some initial, how about some thoughts as we kind of think back on the end of this season number 3? What's some thoughts that come to mind, Kelvin?
The O&G, of course, we do it for our love and our passion, but of course, we also carrying the legacy of our good friend Kofi. So that's something that sticks out, make sure we carry on that spirit of which he was a key figure in putting this thing together and getting us all involved. And then also the growth of the show, right? I get all the time people commenting, about our content and the things that we cover and how we do it, right? We do it with love. And I have to say, man, I think Kofi helped me with that part of it. Because I used to be a little mad sometimes, and but no, the way that the coaches and a lot of the administration and alumni and the supporters make themselves available to us, man. So people finding value in what we do, man. That everybody want to be appreciated and loved for what they do, man. I feel very vindicated, very loved doing this. So that's why I keep doing it.
All right, love to hear it. Marcus, how you feeling? You completed your first full season in the chair. How you doing?
I guess I'm honored, that you guys would have me on the show, and that I've been a guest in the past and have kind of become one of the integral parts, hopefully. And I guess just to echo what Kelvin said, just the impact that we've had, and I've heard through Kelvin, through you, and even the folks that have come on the show for the first time, and you hear folks saying, I watch you guys, or I look at the show all the time, and just understanding or realizing what a positive force we can be for FAMU in terms of disseminating some news, some opinions, some perspectives, but trying to do it in an objective way and not in a sense of trying to garner viewership, even though we do need folks to hit the thumbs up and watch, but it's not for it's not for entertainment value or shock value. It's out of concern and love for our alma mater, wanting her to be the best that she could be.
Well said. Well said. Well said. I'm definitely thankful for both of you guys. I'm also thankful for the various guest hosts that we've had this year on the show, from AD Drew, who's filled in, Dr. Lori Wilson, who's filled in and done a great job in the chat room and all the support that she's given, and definitely to all of our coaches and our players, our alumni, just the family watching on the various streams and supporting the show in every possible way. Thank you for helping us get through, uh, obviously, the tough transition and then having a good year three. And so we keep looking to build year after year and keep trying to do bigger and better and more things. So just hang tight and stay tuned and keep supporting the show in every possible way that you can. It definitely goes unnoticed. And thank you for all the shout outs that you guys give us whenever you see Kelvin, whenever you see Marcus, whenever you see me. It's definitely very, very humbled and it's very appreciative. And so we're glad that we can be one of the voices that you guys listen to on a weekly basis and kind of wait to hear our takes and our thoughts on things as we get it. So obviously, you want to say get the particulars out of the way. Just thank everybody. Hit the thumbs up and the like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on the JBN YouTube channel, my JBN Online is where it is. Or a good portion of the chat folks are there. Also, you might be watching on the O&G StrikeZone YouTube page, and you can follow at O&G StrikeZone on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. Hello to everybody watching on Instagram Live, watching us maybe on Twitter via the Black College Sports Network feed. Just everywhere that we are, we appreciate you for watching and supporting. So Facebook, YouTube, hit the thumbs up and the like button if you would. If you want to donate to the show, you can always do so right there on the screen. You can always Cash App in that JBN, my BCSN Cash App. A cup of coffee is always appreciated. Helps keep everything going. You can also donate directly using that square in the bottom left corner of the screen. You can hit that square up, and you can donate there. So we got a lot of different promotional things to get to in today's show. But coming up also in the show in hour number 2, we got a couple of special guests. I always like to bring in some VIPs when we can get them. So coming up at the top of hour 2, attorney Daryl Parks, who that was my president, my first president at FAMU, my SGA president when I first walked on the yard. That was my president. So he is running for, I want to make sure I get it right, state. What is it officially?
Yeah.
I got it right here. Hold on. I know it officially. I got to make sure I say it right. I don't want to mess it up. Democrat for State Senate District 3. That is what Daryl is running for in November. So we're glad to have him coming up on the top of hour 2. And then at the bottom of hour 2, we got our beloved coach. We'll get into that shocking news story. Our beloved coach, Camise Patterson.
Coach P.
Coach P's coming on. So she is not going to neglect Rattler Nation. So she is coming on at the bottom of hour 2. I know a lot of people have some questions. So if you want to send a question, go ahead and send it to ONGStrikeZone@gmail.com. Don't try to just put it in the chat, because even if you put it in the chat, I may miss it. But if you want to send an email, ONGStrikeZone@gmail.com. All right. Let's do this. As we like to do always early in the show, we like to say hello to all of the family that's checking in early. So we want to go through and give some shout outs to everybody who's tuning in, wherever you're tuning in. Jimmy Mack, first one in the building.
What's up, J Mac?
Jimmy Mack, hello. Marvin Allen.
I was the first one in the building. Duval.
I'm not going to. Yeah, okay. Yes, you were the first one in. Anyway, Marvin Allen, what's up? Good to see you. Let's see.
Ken.
More on the practice. What is it? Yeah, Ken, good to see you. Ken checking in. Good to see you. Hopefully you did. Yep. Ken says he got his media guide. So congratulations again. Ken was one of our 2 winners who won our autographed copies of the media guide from SWAC Media Day. Ken, go ahead. Feel free to, tweet out a picture of that thing, just let people know that we actually come through when we do. And we didn't waste any time either. We got that thing out to you and Bryan Starks up in Atlanta. Yep. Both of you should have got them earlier this week. So thank you for being a part of the contest. Steve Campbell, Mr. Campbell checking in. Good to see you.
What's up, Mr. Campbell?
Appreciate that the Win with Black Men. That was a powerful, I think that was on Monday night. Hopefully, brothers, you got a chance to watch that. With co-hosted by Roland Martin, but it was pretty powerful stuff and a great motivator for us as we get ready to go into the political season, and our votes do matter. So you're gonna see some PSAs by all of the shows from the Black College Sports Network coming up here over the next few months, because we understand the importance of voting, and we want you to get out and vote. So just a reminder, we can't sit on the sidelines on this one. Melissa Wilson, checking in. Good to see you, Melissa. Appreciate you coming in. Meredith.
Hey, hello, Meredith. Auntie.
Thanks for being a Jericho Broadcast Network subscriber there on YouTube. Thank you for doing that. Marcus J. White checking in, also a JBN subscriber and a new life member of the Rattler Boosters. Shout out to Marcus being a life member of the Boosters. That's awesome stuff, man. That's awesome. And let me put that little ticker up there. We want to encourage everybody to go join the Rattler Boosters.
Do me, Marcus. I'm coming.
FAMURattlerBoosters.com. Go be a booster. Come join us and support the primary organization to support FAMU Athletics. And we'll tell you some more about what we're going to be doing with the boosters coming up. Mary 305 checking in. Good to see you,
What's
Mary.
up, Mary?
Derek Singleton checking in from the SIP.
Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi finest.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Doc's in the building.
What's up, Doc? How you doing, Doc?
Doc's in the building. Good to see you, Doc, and moderating those chat rooms. So you guys be good when the guests arrive. Just be cordial. Hopefully it's not too crazy, but let them know. Demetra Alford checking in. Good to see you, Demetra.
What's up, Demetra?
Tony checking in. Tony, good to see you, Tony. Hello.
What's up, hello? Hello.
Chuck Hunt checking in from Monroe, Louisiana.
Tennessee.
Good to see you, Chuck.
He ain't from Nashville? What's up, Chuck?
Not that Nashville. Gail checking in from Cleveland. Checking in. Tamara T. Hello.
What's up, Tamara T?
Thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well on YouTube. Let me see. Anybody name Bull checking in. Another life member of the Rattler Boosters checking in. Good to see you, Bull. Thank you for checking in. AD Drew.
What's up, Drew, my brother?
My co-host on the Sunday show, the BCSN Sports Wrap, AD Drew. Thank you, Drew. EA checking in. What? EA coming in quiet today. Look, his first tweet wasn't hot.
Hey, I'm gonna just claim the high on this one because because I don't know if it's daddy or son, but either way, I'm gonna claim the high.
Ashley C checking in. Ooh, big announcement we're gonna give later in the show. If you're not following Fang Exchange, you need to be following Fang Exchange on social media. We'll talk about the big announcement that she dropped a little bit earlier. We're gonna talk about that here in a second. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in, Ashley. Victor Gaines checking in. Good to see you.
Dark Knight.
That Ripper's red skin. What's going on, Vic?
Appreciate the reminder. Let people know. Hit that like button. Little baby checking in. Good to see you, little baby. Thank you
What's
for
up, big little baby.
Yeah. What? Edwin Moore checking in. I don't know where you're going with that, Edwin. I don't know.
What's
Edwin
going
always
on, Evan?
always trying to get me into something here.
Ain't,
I don't know.
ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with with the brother showing some feelings, man. Soften up.
Exactly. Chuck, you're exactly 100 right. We are going to miss Coach P. So we gonna keep giving her flowers. I mean, we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep giving Coach P flowers. So so we'll do that. Dexter Martin, good to see you, Dex. Thank you for checking in. B Starks, all right. There's the confirmation. B Starks got his media guide as well. Good to see.
Congratulations, B Starks.
Go ahead and take a picture with that media guide and tweet that. Tag us at O&G StrikeZone if you can, B. Appreciate you. And
we got a real VIP in today.
Who? We do? Who?
Yeah.
We got another. Has it got another Rozier in there?
What's up, Doc?
Kerry Daniels checking in. Good to see you. Thank you for checking in. Alice McCullough from Palm Beach checking in. Kev from Tally. What up, champ? Good to see you. Emmett Jones coming in.
Kev?
Good to see you.
What's up, Emmett?
Yeah. Vaughn Wilson coming in.
Oh, the high rolling tonight.
The high is rolling today. Oh, Mac Webb coming in. Another life member of the Rattler Boosters. All right. First off, Off Script coming in.
Congratulations, Scotty.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations to Off Script and Mrs. Script. A baby Script in the house. Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Script Jr. Scotty Jr.
Hey, and definitely talk about the rivalry of South Carolina State and FAMU just got hot, boy, because I'm telling you, they taking it to some new levels with some of that stuff.
Yeah, man. That's a reach, man. Right. They doing too much.
Doing too much. JT coming in. Good to see you, JT. Thank you. They definitely are. Okay, so I guess obviously let's get to a few bit of news. We got a lot of news things to talk about here in hour one. Before we get into coaching news and things like that, we got to make mention of the Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday. Thank you. I had to think about it for a second. Board of Trustees met and went ahead and actually accepted the resignation of Dr. Larry Robinson, and then went through the process of trying to decide when Dr. Robinson's last day would be and the introduction of the interim president in his place. And so Dr. Robinson's last day, after much debate and discussion, it was decided that Dr. Robinson's last day would be after summer graduation, and would be Sunday, August 4th, would be Dr. Robinson's last day. And Chair Harper introduced introduced the recommendation of Dr. Timothy Beard to be the interim president. And I believe it coincided with a period of up to 12 months. And that would begin on Monday, August 5th. And that the process would begin in trying to name the 13th president of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Kelvin, tell us a little bit about Dr. Beard, if you would.
Dr. Beard is of Port St. Joe, which is right down the road from here. He's a graduate of Port St. Joe Junior Senior High and attended FAMU, where he received an associate's degree in 1985 as a physical therapy student and first-generation college student. He then attended Florida State, where he earned both his bachelor's and master's in rehabilitation counseling, along with a doctorate in rehabilitation counseling with an emphasis in higher education administration. He's married to Wendy Beard, who's an FSU alumni, and has two daughters who are both FAMU alumni. He retired from his position as the fourth president of Pasco Hernando, I think it was,
Yeah, I think so.
State College in January after a 9 year tenure, and is currently a president emeritus of the Newport Richard based college. And he was honored during homecoming week of 2019 along with other university alumni, Rattlers at the Helm segment for serving in a top leadership role in education. While at his previous job as president, the student enrollment increased more than 40%, his operating budget increased by nearly 40%, and his foundation assets increased by more than 60%. Man, if he could make that happen, he'll be gold with this job. And just one last a little more tidbit. Um, he was employee at FAMU in a variety of roles for 14 years, including assistant professor, assistant director of career services, director of student affairs, and some positions at the FAMU College, FSU College of Engineering. He also was Teacher of the Year at the university in 2001.
All right.
And I
Um,
leave it there.
No
yeah.
wonder he looks familiar.
Where's the familiarity? What, Marcus? What?
I was trying to think if we crossed paths either in the career services at FAMU or at the College of Engineering. I just couldn't place it, but maybe so.
Um, Dr. Beard. Um, Interesting that I don't know, short comments here just in regards to the process. Fascinating to kind of see the process work from the board of trustees. It seems like Dr. Beard's name was already pre-thought of, pre-planned to be the interim. So I don't know if that caught anybody by surprise. Maybe, maybe not. But I would imagine those kind of things usually are discussed and figured out before this actual meeting took place. I don't know, Kelvin. I think you got a chance to watch the meeting. Marcus, did you get a chance to watch the board of trustees meeting?
I did not.
Well, it was interesting to say the least. I think without going too deep into details, it was interesting. But we'll see. I think the most interesting thing that came out of it from me is that it was stated that at that moment that Dr. Beard or whomever became interim would not be the new president. Now, things can always change, but that's what they said as they concluded. And I'm sure when they have their August retreat, the board, that they will sort of nail down the specifics of those kind of things. I wonder what, and Kelvin, you've seen when Dr. Robinson's been the interim, what is the scope that the interim will have as it relates to departments like athletics and other? I mean, will he come in as any president would be, or will there'll be some cautious and apprehension to make certain moves because he knows that somebody more permanent is coming behind him? You've seen this play out. What's your thoughts there?
So the first couple of times Dr. Robinson was interim, there was a search process immediately launched, and so it was going to be really short term. So I don't think there was an appetite to, make any significant changes. The third time he was the interim, he had full reign to act as the authority to act as the president and do whatever he saw fit. I think Dr. Beard is coming in with a year contract contract, and in the state of Florida, for those who don't know, there was some legislative change with president's contracts, and pretty much most contracts. I think they're trying to loosen that up because it's hard to retain good people under that kind of system. But they had change it where um, presidents of state universities renew from year to year annually. So he's got the full authority of the position. So when you have transition, usually one or two things. Sometimes it's just a placeholder, and you got something, because you got a process already in place, and somebody's coming, and you're just trying to keep everything running smooth. And then sometimes, you the hatchet man, and sometimes you there to clear the deck, so to speak, so that when the permanent person comes in, they can bring in their own team. So, but the one thing I will add or say is that I do know some folks. It's amazing that I don't recall or remember him all this time. I worked on campus 19 years, so but I don't recall him. But which means at the very least he wasn't messing up, but
He was keeping his name out of the papers, right?
right. But I do know some folks who do, and by all accounts, I've not heard one negative thing at all concerning him. There's a lot of people, he's got a lot of local ties. He's also a pastor of a church, and his father-in-law is a pastor of a church here in Tallahassee. His wife is from here, so I've heard a lot of positive things. So I'm optimistic.
All right. Well, again, I think we will all. And one of the very cool things about the Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday was they did give Dr. Robinson some time to speak, and with some great thanks to many of his staff, his VPs, the administration, and the students. A lot of successes, and then the board took time individually to congratulate him in their own way. And so I thought that was a pretty nice opening to the meeting. And so I think I heard that the FAMU communications department, I'm sure, will release the accomplishments during the Robinson tenure, and that should be applauded. Yeah, obviously, we know that there are things that could have been done better, but I think in every situation, Dr. Robinson tried to correct it when it became evident it was a problem. Now, okay, maybe, I guess. So that's why I said it's curious to see how Dr. Beard's imprint will be on athletics. There's so many things that need to be done better. We'll get into all that here. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into some of the more good news and notes, maybe some of the sad, bad coming up. But first, I want to remind you guys that coming up on August 10th is the Rattler Boosters kickoff luncheon. Our table has been secured. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get messy, but just say our table has been secured. And so we've got 8 spots. And so join myself, Kelvin, Dr. Lori, and some guests. We got 3 to 5 open seats. And in order for you to have an opportunity, and we're going to do the drawing today. So today is the last day. You've got to become a member of the JBN YouTube channel. Just become a member, supporting HBCU, supporting HBCU media, supporting the Black College Sports Network. Become a member of our channel. You guys can do that by simply joining right there. YouTube, join my JBN Online. If you're on YouTube and on the JBN, you can join to have a chance if you're interested. I'm talking a free ticket, okay? Normally, if you go, you got to pay at least $60 to go to this event, okay? I'm offering you a chance with a minimum membership of $299. Minimum $299. You get a chance to be a part of our table. We got a prime spot in the middle on the aisle. So I mean, it's great seating, great location. And so you get a chance to come sit with us for this great event as we kick off the 2024 season. I'm not sure if all the tables are sold out, but if you're interested in your corporation getting a tax-free write-off, you can buy it. I think they only have general tables left. I think all the VIP tables are sold out. So general tables are $450 each. Individual tickets are $60. But again, become a member and have a chance at one of these elusive spots. I mean, what's the worst? I mean, $2.99. Come on in. Come on, be a member of the JBN family. And first perk that we'll get is being a part of this event, August 10th. So after we draw the names, you got to be available. So if you're not available and I reach out and you're not available, I'm okay. We'll just move on to the next person. So that's how that's going to go. All right, got more news and notes to share coming up after this short break. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a second.
You sure?
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Bryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
I'm returning to Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Hi, I'm Janaea Mogley. Greetings, I'm Kiana Watson.
Hi, I'm Zoriana Hughes.
Greetings, I'm Nia Morgan, and for all things FAMU Athletics, check out the O&G Strike Zone
On Wednesdays at the Black College Sports Network.
Go Rattlers!
Hey,
All right.
Let's go. For all them Jaguars and Tigers and Cats and all. I see y'all out there. Hey, let's go.
That's right. Camp starts 6 a.m. tomorrow, less than 12 hours away from the start of camp. The Coach Colsey era is about to begin. The Rattlers get ready to start camp opening up. And we are, I don't even know the official number of days until the start of the August 24th is the MEAC SWAC Challenge. So speaking of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, let me go ahead and put this out there now, early on in the show. If you have not bought your tickets for this game? Well, our good friend Mike Reed has put together this great deal. He's blocked off a group of seats in the club section for $79 a person. And if you look at the seating map on the right side of that graphic, there is section 316. It is club level. Go to justlookingout.com. Pay attention to the website addresses, JUSLOOKINOUT. And when you check out and purchase your tickets, use the word Strike Zone. And a portion of these ticket prices will go towards the show. So not only are you getting good seats, but you're helping out the show. Strike Zone is the code. And just in case you wonder what those seats look like, well, I showed this great graphic last week after the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And right there, I've given a nice circle visual of where 316. Look at that shade. Now, that picture, fellas, was taken at about noon, maybe noon to 1 o'clock. Look at the shade coverage. Just imagine at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, when you get into the building, into your seat, you will be completely covered and not in the heat, which, by the way, going back to the graphic, the FAMU side is right underneath the word checkout. Guess where that'll be in the sun. So if you bought tickets in the quote unquote FAMU side, you're going to be in the sun for the first quarter. Now, will it be hot? I don't know.
Hey, Bryan,
but
let's be honest though.
Yeah.
We playing Norfolk.
Yeah.
The whole stadium is FAMU side.
Look, Norfolk is swearing. They're swelling this. They say the Spartan Legion is going to show up. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be they band and about 5 more people.
Well, hey, maybe so. But this is your chance. So again, want to encourage you, go to justlookingout.com, club level seats, use the code StrikeZone at checkout, and a portion of the tickets will go towards our show. Again, this is tickets only. There's no extras. Now, we're working on maybe doing some tailgate stuff right across the street from the stadium. I don't have all the details just yet, but we're working on it. But want to encourage you all to go ahead and buy your club seats. We did post it on our Facebook and our X feed. I think I even may have sent it out via Instagram somehow, some way. So you can go support. All right. Well, Friday was Thursday night into Friday was some shocking news, completely out of left field, as we learned through the grapevine, and then we learned officially Friday morning that our softball coach, Camise Patterson, had resigned her position as the softball coach at FAMU, and she will move over to our rivals, Alabama State. So that came out Friday morning from the Alabama State website. Their athletic director, Jason Cable, said, "I am beyond excited to welcome Camise to the Bama State family. What she did in a relatively short time at FAMU was remarkable. As we got to know Camise during this process, her core values, passion for the game, and the student-athlete experience directly align with what we want to accomplish at ASU. The future of Bama State softball is bright under her leadership." She replaces Todd Bradley, who stepped away after 5 seasons for personal reasons. Of course, now, from what we learned, Coach Patterson actually played for at Campbell.
Hey, you got turbulence.
Your volume.
Yeah, you hear the turbulence patch.
Okay, what did?
All right, you good. All right, you good.
What
now.
the heck?
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Okay, so but anyway, Coach Patterson said, "I am deeply honored and grateful to be the next head softball coach at Alabama State University. Being able to continue coaching the sport I love is a true blessing from God. I want to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Cable and the search committee for their confidence in my abilities and this incredible opportunity. I'm excited to build on the program's past success. Look forward to being part of the Swarm. We've learned, and coming up at the bottom of hour 2, Coach Patterson is coming on the show. So we will directly get a chance to find out all the details. But what we did learn, Coach Patterson is getting an increase in salary, staff. I mean, she had one assistant, one grad assistant. Everything is being doubled. Believing she'll have 2 assistant coaches, 2 grad assistants, even a manager. So talk about being able to do more with more. And we talking about that all the time around here. Marcus, I'll start with you and then go to Kelvin. Your thoughts, learning of the news of Coach Patterson, and then maybe some initial questions. Obviously, you get a chance to ask Coach, but just what are some of your thoughts upon learning this news?
Well, I guess it's kind of bittersweet. There's a lot of momentum in FAMU softball, and seeing her leave and having a lot of talent on the roster that hopefully stays on the roster, on the FAMU roster. It's bittersweet in that you want good coaches to stay always, but if there's an opportunity for, how can I put it? If there's an opportunity to continue to excel, I'll say it like that. And it sounds as though they made a deal that was too good to pass up. So it'll be, kind of sad, but also you wish good people well. And hopefully the FAMU program will continue on the trajectory in which she started. She laid the foundation or continued. Actually, I'm going to continue, to be honest, because softball's been good for going on 20, 30 years. Had little bumps here and there, but for the most part, it's been one of the more consistent programs since way back when I was way back when I was in school. So, hopefully the next person that comes in will continue that legacy and trajectory.
What's your thoughts, Kelvin?
I want our players and our coaches to feel valued. And obviously, Alabama State made sure to make sure she felt valued. And so she's very deserving. She's bet on herself. If you watch the team over the last 2 years, you see how she is with recruiting. You look at the camp she's been a part of and bringing students to the campus, and a lot of some of the young ladies who attended those camps are now currently on the team. She's she's an up and comer. She's bright, man, and for us to lose her to another SWAC school, I guess that says all that needs to be said. I mean, we beat that school. She beat that school last year.
Yeah.
So it kind of honestly, man, it harkens me back to this whole football coach thing, right? When you got champions and you have an opportunity to keep that thing going, winning is hard. We done talked about this. Winning ain't easy. And not everybody can come into the same environment and have the same success. So when you got somebody who's loyal and want to be in that environment and is successful, you do what you got to do. I mean, it's things that could be done. But first it starts with communication, right? You got to be available to people when they come to you. So, we'll have on later, and I just want to love on her and show my appreciation when she gets on the show. So, but yeah, I'm happy. She's deserving. I know she's gonna do a wonderful job, and we got to do better.
Yeah, it speaks to. Sadly, it speaks to. I don't know about. I always think there's sometimes you look at things want to versus the ability of whether we can.
Yeah, who did you ask? Did you come to Rattler Nation? Oh, can you come to Rattler Nation?
Can you come to Rattler Nation?
Well,
that's the hard part. That's the hard
it ain't.
part because
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
no,
Because when we had to do it for, Coach Simmons or with the players, we've always come through. Rattler Nation we like champions. So I'm sure if she had came to 220, she had came to us. If it's a resource thing, we gonna step it up.
yeah.
Well,
That's
Kelvin, you
what
bring
we
up
do.
an interesting point. Let me ask you this. I know the money that was raised in December was an initiative that was born out of Coach Simmons leaving.
That money is controlled by the National Alumni Association. If you're asking what I think you're going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but was it meant specifically for football? Because it was supposed to be a supplement for coaches' salaries and compensation.
I don't.
Hey,
I don't think so.
a better question is: was there an effort to counter? Did you communicate with the person? Did you attempt to want to maintain that? That's the question.
Yeah. That's the question. It's challenging when you look at our Alabama State works with. We talked about the number of programs Alabama State has, right? Alabama State works with a budget of about 4 to 5 million more than us, I think. We've got to find a way to stop losing successful people. Now, I know we always get into this conversation about FAMU because we're a mid-major program. Some might even say a low-resource institution, and especially in the world of athletics. And when and people don't like to admit this, but a lot of times we are a stepping stone for other jobs, meaning jobs that are financially more lucrative with better resources. And it's tough to swallow the fact that we're losing a championship caliber coach, someone who's been in the program for 10 years. I mean, she'd been in the program in the Veronica Wiggins era, was assistant coach under the previous coach, Coach Constance Orr, and then she became the head coach. So she's gone from being number two to number one to being the head person. She's worked her way through the program. And sadly during that time, there's been a lot of administrative turnover in that time as well. And so here we are, we sort of rebuilt the program. I mean, look, she recruited well enough to bring in the freshman pitcher of the year. The freshman of the year, the pitcher of the year, and the newcomer of the year. So the pitching staff is strong. She's recruited well. We've talked about the recruits. So, how do you it's a tough pill to swallow, but it does speak to where Alabama State is under Dr. Cable, and maybe just their entire university, the thought process of their president, and just everything that they are doing that we're not. So we brag, we get away with a lot of stuff because we have great coaches, but that can only last for so long if we don't retain these great coaches that we have.
Now, Bryan, I'd like to balance that a little bit with, and Kelvin, I've been a proponent of this for going back to right before we hired Joe Taylor, that I don't mind being a launching pad or a cradle of coaches if the coaches elevate and if it's a promotion that furthers careers in a sense that it's an offer that can't be refused. But then you also have to balance it with the rationale and the reason why a coach, and this is in general, not specifically Coach P, why the coach happens to be leaving. If it's because of some other circumstances beyond, or if it turns out to be a promotion or even a lateral move with more lucrative stuff. But if it's something that we can counter with the resources that we have versus dangling, she got offered by FSU or Oklahoma, who just four-peated in softball. I mean, that's a no-brainer, to be on their staff. A perennial Women's College World Series team or something along those lines. So that, when I'm thinking Cradle Coach's launching pad, that's more in line with it. But if it's someone that somewhat, and it's not disparage Alabama State, because they are basically they have the Commissioner's Cup for all sports.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that's within our control, within our capability to retain a good coach, then that's something different than a Power 5 program or a major program with a championship pedigree coming in, swooping in and taking your coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this situation happens to lie on that spectrum, but I clearly delineate a difference between those two, between cradle coaches, someone who's ambitious and looking to move up and using as a stepping stone. And we should develop our department and our athletic department and our paradigm to reflect that and support that, because it reflects well on the development that you can have at FAMU. But if it's just like, well, I can't get stuff done here and I need to move somewhere where I can get stuff done, that's a totally different story. And I don't know where we are on that spectrum in this specific case.
And I'll just point out some recent history facts. The bowling coaches left.
Yes.
Because they didn't feel valued.
Preach.
The championship golf coach we had left because he didn't feel valued. Now he ended up returning and got some additional compensation because he had left. But why do people who don't want to leave and who are champion successful? Remember, you talking sports that got 1,000 APR and winning trophies. So they getting it done in all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Why are people not feeling valued? That's my question.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Serious question. I will say, it's funny you mentioned our former bowling coach, and even coach. I'm disappointed that here we are Wednesday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days now. Haven't seen an official thank you, Coach Patterson. Haven't seen an official statement or anything thanking Coach Patterson for the almost nearly decade of service to FAMU softball. I am disappointed in that there hasn't been anything. I know it's bitter to lose a coach to a rival, but I am disappointed that we haven't seen that official word yet. Not saying that one's coming. I don't know if I'm expecting one or not. I'm just saying that I'm disappointed that one hasn't been put out there. And if it has, I just haven't read it or I haven't seen it on the website. So if somebody's seen it, please let me know. So that's just me. But again, coming up at the bottom of hour 2, Coach Camise Patterson, the new head coach of Alabama State, former FAMU head coach, will be on the show. So you have an opportunity to, if you got questions, O&G StrikeZone at gmail.com, send them in. And as we talk to Coach, I'll go through the questions and ask her what a lot of you, I'm sure, are wanting to know. One quick announcement here before we go to break and bring on our first guest of the night. Coming up tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're not familiar with Fang Exchange, tomorrow is a great day to get familiar, as Ashley Coleman and Ellis Dean, FAMU alums. Of course, Ashley is the executive director of Fang Exchange, FAMU's first NIL collective. They will talk about NIL and the Fang Exchange. You can go check the show out on YouTube tomorrow. There's the YouTube page, YouTube /Fang Exchange. or Fang_Exchange. And if you're not signed up, go check out Fang Exchange on Instagram. Check it out on Twitter. Check it out on Facebook. Be a part. I know there's some good information there that you can find out. So I will be tuned in. I'll be tuned in checking this out. It's a great opportunity for you if you're not familiar with NIL, if you're not familiar with the collective, and just how they are proposing to work within this structure of today's college athletics. Because, man, every week there is a new story of some kind of NCAA. What was the latest news we saw today, Marcus? You tweeted it out or you posted it. What was it?
Kelvin and I saw it about the same time. Basically, one of the proposals that they made, they allow, and we need to understand what this means from a football standpoint at the FCS level versus FBS. But basically, they raised the scholarship limits for football for at least to 105 student athletes. And this is all the articles that I saw, primarily from Ross Dellinger, I think of Yahoo Sports, was in reference to Power 5 schools where they already have 85 what they call head count scholarships, basically a 1-to-1 full scholarship per player. But now they moved it up to 105 total players that you can have on the roster. And I believe they changed those sports to equivalent, meaning they can split the scholarships. So at our level, at FCS level in football, and some of the other sports like baseball, I think volleyball, and there are a couple of others, you can split scholarships. So now I think they made them all equivalent, because before they were head count, 1-to-1, but now they're equivalent, so you can split scholarships and slice and dice. And I believe you can have 105 max
Football.
at the FBS for football, and I think 34 for baseball. I want to say 18 for volleyball. I don't remember all the numbers, but there are 4 or 5 sports where they increased the ceiling of total roster count.
Right.
Of course, that costs more money. So, I mean, I guess at FCS level, and I'm just speculating here because all the articles, once again, are looking at it from a Power 4 standpoint, is that, I don't know if our number goes up, if we can afford it, but once again, you also have to take Title IX considerations into play in terms of having equal funding for women's sports. So I don't know what that means for us. It depends on how applicable it is. If our limits go up accordingly from 63 scholarships from a football standpoint, but I believe the other sports don't have the subdivision. So I think those numbers go up if you can afford it regardless, like baseball, volleyball. I've forgotten the 2 or 3 other sports, but those numbers went up in terms of total scholarships. So if we could afford it, they can go in more detail on the football side of it.
Yeah, it's so outside of football, you also have baseball with a current scholarship restriction of 11.7, expected to have a roster of 34. So that's an increase of like 22, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Softball and volleyball, which have currently a 12 limit, will increase to 25 and 18 respectively. And I even think I saw men's basketball increasing from 13 to 15 now. So in total, the article, and this is out of a Yahoo Sports article by Ross Dellinger. So in case those of you who want to go look this up on your own, in all, more than 60 additional scholarships are available for distribution in those 5 sports. According to this, as they do now, schools are not required to distribute scholarships to each player. For example, many schools are unlikely to use a full 34 scholarships for baseball, choosing instead to offer grants to only a portion of its roster and leave walk-on opportunities. So that's going to be one of those great questions to ask AD Sykes and to get more detail on. And it'll be interesting to see how that is managed. But more scholarship opportunities hopefully will allow us to retain some student athletes instead of potentially losing them in the transfer portal for NIL at other schools.
Mm-hmm. No, one other quick tidbit. I didn't see a whole lot on it, but happened to see it this afternoon. Not on this, but something else. I think the case that who was it? What is HBU? Is it Houston Baptist College, or one of the colleges that plays FCS football, brought a lawsuit talking about the settlement that was made where they're trying to pay out reparations, for lack of a better term, to the college football players and the FCS or non-football schools. I mean, not non-football, the power schools. It's not proportioned out right. But basically, the judge told the FCS school that was bringing a lawsuit saying it was unfair, told them to basically pound sand. So, that case got thrown out or dismissed in terms of the breakdown of the payout for that House versus the NCAA settlement, meaning it's not good news for non-football and FCS schools, because I think the way the balance worked out was like 60-40 for the remaining schools, and only 40% is being paid by the Power of Four, whereas they get the bulk of the money from TV.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, just wanted to share. We'll talk a little bit more of that as time permits. But let's take our first break. Coming up on the other side, we've got Attorney Daryl Parks, who's running for State Senate District 3. So we'll have Attorney Parks coming up on the show here in just a moment. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
Hi, my name is Michael Bastardo. I'm with FAMU, and make sure you guys check out all things FAMU Athletics with O&G StrikeZone. Strike again.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Marcus Green, and joining us live right now, Attorney Daryl Parks, who is running a Democrat running for State Senate District 3. My first president, I'm going to call you Mr. President, because this Attorney Parks was my SGA president as I was a freshman on the yard coming into FAMU. So, sir, welcome to the O&G Strike Zone. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Glad to be with you guys.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you. Of course, Attorney Parks, very well known across the nation for some of the civil rights work that he has done. Let's just kind of start with, for those of you who may not be familiar, give people a little background about your time at FAMU, the hometown where you're from, and just a little background that led you to deciding to run for state senate.
Well, I'm from Haines City, Florida. Actually, a little town called Lake Hamilton outside of Haines City. Went to high school at Haines City, and then
People, they say, you're on the O&G. You're on the O&G. We got
Came to FAMU with some friends of mine from high school, and we came to FAMU and really just had an amazing time. I didn't know a lot about FAMU before I came. And so got up here, man, missed football a little bit, decided to go be a trainer. I was a trainer my freshman year. And ended up being one of probably the best decisions I ever made, because I got to meet Ken Riley. I got to go with the Rattlers to the place I'd never heard of or been to before in my life. Got to go to Miami to the old Orange Bowl. Got to go to Nashville. We played Tennessee State that year in Vanderbilt State. It was amazing. Got to go to the Gator Bowl and see us play Georgia Southern. It was out of sight. And so came, had an amazing family time. Was an RA my second year. That was very interesting, right? I was student government my sophomore year.
Which hall? Which hall?
As an RA? Patty Foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
And let me say, everybody who spent some time in Patty Foot is owed a debt of gratitude from all of us. They paid their dues. Especially if they had a roommate. So, but I was already in Patty Foot my sophomore year. That was amazing. Under Miss Maddie Trewick. Colonel Hobbs was the director of student housing. You know, he ran it like he was still in the military. So, it was very fun. Got involved with the government, and Gino appointed me to the court. I was Pia Boss's assistant student body president. She was student body president. I was her assistant. My junior year, that was amazing. Ran for president one time, lost, and pledged that year too. So really, really just had the most amazing time. But also too got involved with really just trying to make sure things were better for students every day, and did some basic stuff that I thought was important for students. It could be simple. Kelvin, there's some stairs over there by the stadium that come up to the back of the parking garage. I put the stairs there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sign on the corner of Mahan and Tennessee Street that said FAMU that way. I made sure that sign got there. There's another sign down there by the old Goodyear place, right there on Monroe Street. That sign there, because you know we used to have problems trying to get to our campus. So I always been just a very common sense person about things, right? That things that should matter, things that should be important to people, basic stuff that we as Black people have to fight for sometimes just to get. So, and probably the best part about student government for me, I got to serve with some amazing people who felt the same way, and it was kind of like a family. At times they would refer to themselves as somewhat similar mobster names of that day, but that's how close we were, and so really appreciated that experience. And so that happened. Ben Crumpet I met while I was at FAMU, and he was at the BSU. I was at FAMU, and we'd have these parties at the Moon, like little joint parties. That was kind of cool. We did not have the wise sense to leave town to go to law school. Not a good idea to go to law school, the same city where you are HCA president, because law school is different. So we would struggle with going to class after lunch. So we but we got through it, and we obviously became best of friends then to this day, from the law school experience, hanging out in the streets of Tallahassee as law students. And then I served as student body president for 2 terms, and I was chairman of the Florida Student Association. And the Florida Student Association is the state student association that represents all students in the whole SUS. Mm-hmm. So I was the chairman of that while I was SJ president, which has a nice little lobbying component. I'll add, in 1992, while I was at FAMU getting ready to go, I and some other students were featured on an NBC special, national special, with Tom Brokaw. Now, I've been friends with Tom since that day when he came to our campus, and featured us. And obviously, y'all know, just to lift Eddie Jackson up. Eddie Jackson was in public affairs back then, and he always made sure that we all got very special, unique opportunities as students. And that's I draw his praise, and I know he just recently passed, but he was one of those type of people at FAMU that really made sure he protected our brand, our name, and lifted our students, and given us very special opportunities. So I thank him for that. When we finished law school, we decided to stay here. We started Parks and Crump. We started over on Tennessee Street, and we built it. We built it. Well, originally started there. We started at my dining room table first on Thomasville Road. Then we went to Tennessee Street and rented some upstairs space from above a chiropractor place, and the landlord was a State Farm guy. And so, but we built from there and took our time to build it. Step by step, including our first people weren't employees, they were volunteers that were helping us, friends who decided to volunteer and help us. So always grateful to those people who sacrificed to help us get going so we could get to where we ended up. And so, I stayed in Tallahassee, had kids here. My kids no longer live here, but really started life here and have really tried to make sure that I've been very involved in every way I could personally. And I can honestly say that I've tried to give everything that I had to give to the people, to the community, to try to be a lifter in every way. And that's what, really puts me in a real good, unique position to run for the state Senate seat, because I've been here, I've been in the community, I've touched people, cared for people, fought for people, and that's what people know me for. And that's why, running for office is not hard, right? It hasn't been hard in any way, from the fundraising side to the messaging side to knowing a bunch of people to kind of get the move going. And so, like y'all, you know how you sit back and you watch the state of Florida, you watch the people in power and say, that's some crazy stuff there. Mm-hmm. And you ask yourself, well, who's going to do something about it? Well, after a while, I realized I'm actually one of the people that can do something about it. I can do something about it, and that we should have a person in that position, and who is capable, who cares deeply, right, and who's not, special interests will always have their little influence, but they shouldn't run the show. At the end of the day, you ought to be a person, a citizen who really has your neighbors. You take, for example, in our city, in our county, our Leon County schools have lost $20 million. $20 million for the schools and lost from the things that are going on. And I just saw, where they're having some real challenges. So that's why I decided to do it. I'm in it. It wasn't like I didn't have anything better to do. I'm not doing it to be on TV. I've been on TV before. Right, I ain't feel good, right? No, I'm losing money in my other business to do it. But we deserve people who fight for us. Not, and the thing about a state Senate seat, appropriation of money is one part of it, right? When a person gets a title, right, a real title like state senator, you can speak out on whatever you want to speak out on, right? Think about it. When the little guy from the Florida Board of Governors decided he wanted to comment about our law school, right? I mean, just kind of loosely, right? Did you hear anything from our senator? Quiet. Yeah, mouse crickets. Well, you won't have that problem with this senator.
Nice. I see people are asking, how do we support? Here's the website right there, darylforflorida.com. And so that's the website. Go darylforflorida.com. That's what Daryl with one R. And right there, that's how. And as soon as you pull up the page, there's opportunities there to become a founding donor and to donate to the campaign. There it is right there.
Thank y'all. I appreciate that.
No, for sure. Go ahead, Kelvin. What you got?
Daryl, you've done so much in this community that people don't know, because you don't do things to get awards, to be notarized. You do things because you're a good person and you're passionate about those, and you're loyal to those who've been loyal to you. So So you're a pillar of the community. You've always supported FAMU. Been on, I think, every board we have.
That's true.
Probably sit on the board now still. But
No.
so tell us, since this is a Rattler based show, tell us some of the things that because there's a lot out there. I see what a discrimination lawsuit filed by FAMU students. The state has asked the court to reject. You mentioned
Well, let's start there,
about
Kelvin.
go ahead.
I heard y'all talking about the lawsuit a little bit, right? It's a federal lawsuit. I won't say what I did, right? But I saw that lawsuit coming along. I had a conversation with those lawyers who represent those students, right? And yeah, so I talked to them for a little bit and let them know a few things. The problem with that lawsuit is the wrong people brought the lawsuit. It was great intention, and you know, for the little bit I know, but obviously there've been some very strong things that we have not received over time that we should have gotten. And I'm not even talking about the land grant stuff, right? Just in general. I'll say we made a little bit of progress in the last few years, right? But that doesn't make up for all the other stuff, the many years of things that we should have gotten that we didn't get, right? So kudos though to those students who had the heart to speak up. Kudos to that law firm that decided to take on that issue, right? They're not here. They don't know the inner workings of the history as much, right? So when they went to write whatever they wrote as the allegations, it was pretty basic stuff, right? It wasn't, and I think the students are pharmacy students. When the party harmed, in a federal case, you got to have standing, okay? So standing could be future students. It could be parents who are taxpayers. You're probably one of the more robust group to have standing in the case in order to bring the case to give it a little bit more of a reach, a touch, I should say, in this situation. And you had the best judge you could ever have, okay? It'll never get better than the judge you had. But also too, I think I give kudos to Dr. Robinson for the time he just served us, right? He found a way to work with the Sanders in a positive way to get things that we needed, right? And so in that regard, it was okay, right? And so kudos. I mean, I'm pretty close with Dr. Robinson and know a little bit more about kind of that relationship. It worked out well, and Dr. Robinson, was able to get a few things. But Kelvin, I am still a little bit of a critic in that I think we got to have a better planned campus, meaning like we can't have stuff just all over the place, right? Like we currently do. And there are things that we still need. We still need a new student union. I think about the fact that the student union that we all enjoy, these students don't. They don't know about that central place that's got a place where you playing cards and all that kind of stuff. And maybe they do it near their dorms now, but it ain't central. And strong, big, beautiful student unions are a centerpiece of a university. I don't know if any of y'all ever been to like Texas A&M, right? But Texas A&M used to have like a huge living room centerpiece in their student union. It was amazing. And I haven't seen it, but I sure heard the one at Florida State now is pretty nice. So I think that a couple of things. One, on the giving side, I was blessed enough to be around Dr. Humphreys, who really did ingrain us and invest in us to really love FAMU, understand the culture, understand the history, and give to it, give back to the school until it hurt. He really believed that. And so when I became an adult, I was blessed enough to get on the FAMU Foundation right out of law school. And I got to see other rattlers like that who I'm friends with to this day, older, very successful people who really made FAMU part of their life, part of their giving. Now, the good thing about it is Ben Crump was a Seminole and like hanging out with the rattlers like y'all saw in his little autobiography he did, right? All that film from the FAMU film. I told Ben he got to give us more than $50,000. I mean, the whole damn film is almost FAMU. Now, y'all people don't recognize that, right? But all of y'all know because y'all saw that little sign that said 3,900 capacity behind it, right? You all
yes,
know
sir.
But Ben was very gracious as a law partner. That every time I came back to the firm and all, I mean, like you said, from whether it was the kickoff competition at the football games we paid for, to the signage in the gym, to the softball field sign. We just really tried to do, but also too, guys, remember this. It was FAMU people and Black people that supported our law firm wholeheartedly, right? They built that law firm. I mean, they built that law firm and allowed us to stay Black, allowed us to be, the thing about being a person in your law, you can always just advertise, make money, and do nice cases and not do the civil rights cases, because civil rights cases take a lot of money and you lose a lot of money, right? But the way that we were supported, it allowed people to let us work on some amazing cases. It allowed us to really be there for our people and to go hard for them, right? And for this run for state senate, and it ties into it easily, y'all, because coming out of law school, my first what's called Parks liability case was in Suwannee County. And so I've been working in Suwannee County my entire career. Same thing, Ben come along, there was a voting case over in Madison years ago. Madison 9, they were called. Ben took on the case pro bono. We all going there working for free in Madison County. But that's okay, because guess what? The first people who greeted me when I went to Madison about 2 or 3 weeks ago were those people. So, and imagine the natural connection to people who know that that's what you're about, right? That's what you're about, not just a photo op, okay? And so, and I transposed that with today. After I beat Mr. Neesmith in the primary, I saw Senator Corey Simon over in Madison County in a photo op for like a fire station over by Lee. That's a photo op, right? It's another thing when you invest your time, your experience into trying to fight for underdogs, folks who are not supposed to win. So I'm uniquely qualified to win this seat, uniquely. And yeah, the one thing about it is in this business, they say, oh, they're going to come after you. Well, I don't give a damn. So, we all been Black a long time, right? The first thing you learn to do is don't care too much, right? You quit caring too much, then you be like, ooh, they said something bad about me. Bump them. People
That's right.
Know you, right? People who know you. And in fact, I've seen one of the ads, right, they did against me, right? They got to call me an extremist. I was like, in what life? So, but that's part of it, right? And I care deeply about this county, this area, this state, and you live your life here, right? And Kelvin, you and I have children. I know you got other guys. I'm sure y'all probably have children too, but Kelvin and I have daughters around the same age, right? I care about the atmosphere, y'all, and that our kids see and what they hear, right? And that there are people who could attack them that look like them, and they do it carefree. And so that's what I'm doing. Having fun with it. I look at it like I'm pledging, boys. I mean, I get up, put on my little basic campaign clothes, and get out there and touch people, see people. It's been an amazing reaction, right? To be with your community, to see your people, to talk to people, and the experience is vast. Okay, vast. One day you sit in a little church in Midway having an incredible time. Next thing you know, you're at the 220 Club today. Next thing you know, you're at some church out in Madison. So you're moving a lot, and the campaign has the national appeal too. We've had a chance to get away a little bit and raise some money. The beauty of it, y'all, is as I sit here today, my average donor is like $176. We got over 2,300 donors. And I started April 2nd, okay? The first 2 months, we raised more money than anybody, Republican or Democrat, running for office. But that's that love from the people, y'all, who have spent some time around me along the way, understand that what we're about, and understand it's genuine. This ain't made up. This ain't make believe. This ain't no play, right? And so I can keep it 100. I can keep it real. And I think we deserve that. We really deserve that. But that let me say, all that comes from what I got from FAMU. That level of dedication and just staying, of knowing what can happen if I stay focused. I owe to the Rattler Nation, and y'all, I'm very grateful. And let me say, y'all, the Rattler Nation has been amazing and supporting me. Amazing, right? Amazing. And this is their Senate seat. I mean, this is FAMU's Senate seat, right? And I plan to use it every day to empower us and to fight anybody who come at us to the end. So, it's on.
Marcus, what do you got?
I don't know if I have much after that. But, I guess I was going to ask for District 3, what are the biggest challenges that you see that you will address once you get into office?
Well, one, I think I'm gonna do everything in my power on the auto insurance and health and property insurance issue. I mean, that's a big issue right now. And so whatever I can do to create legislation to help address the issue and try to pass legislation to help that issue, I plan to work on that issue. Secondly, though, I think that without question, just some pushback, right, on the reproductive freedom of women, the right for a woman to make her healthcare decisions herself, right? Right now, it's almost a joke where the Republicans say the free state of Florida, yet they are, telling women what they can do with their bodies. They're banning books, right? They're banning who can do things in the state. So that's a lie, right? So somebody need to call that a lie. And then they had the audacity to put free state on every side coming into the state. That's a lie. No, it's a lie. But the other issues, it's a rural place. So healthcare is a challenge. And I want to take it further because you've heard this legislature talk a lot about rural hospitals. Well, I chair Bond Community Health Clinics board right now. And for over probably 25 years, I've chaired our Sickle Cell Foundation here. And so access to care is everything, y'all. Because you want to be taken care of while you have a chance to cure whatever you're dealing with or to manage what you're dealing with. When you get to a hospital, right, and that whatever you had that got to the place where you need to be in the hospital for it, you're in a whole different space. Mm-hmm. And so advocating for people to take the time to go to the doctor, to get the blood draws, to take your medicine, to exercise some. I'm a walker, so I get out there and I put it in, right? I put 10 miles in this morning. Wow. And so, but let me tell you what, Bryan, it does wonders for me, man. My blood pressure good, A1C good, it just really does wonders for you. And health as well. I know everybody's chasing money, right? Mm-hmm. But good health is better than money.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Yeah. So the healthcare piece is big. And then going back to the public school funding, that public school funding is an issue. And the other challenge is some of the rural counties have a challenge with trying to just raise their basic county budget. And so getting out here and learning that, the one thing the current senator did a good job of was Republicans gave him a lot of money to throw around. Now, some of the things he built weren't things that people needed, right? I am going to focus a little bit more, since I'm a business guy, on the economic side of it, meaning how can you get more industries in here that pay more money? The current senator focuses more on technical jobs, not technical jobs, but vocational jobs, right? I think vocational jobs are fine, right? But I'm also more of a university-minded person. So I think that we should try to bring jobs that give people a chance to use all of those high-level degrees that they have, whether it's clinical research, engineering, healthcare. I mean, so there's so much more that people could do to make a lot more money, high-quality jobs for a better quality of life. You don't hear politicians talk about that much, right? And I got my two little girls I have, them jokers are super smart, right? Super smart. They won't be doing the vocational stuff. They're high level functioning. I make sure I teach them about business, right? I was on a call a couple of weeks ago and I was talking about business financials on a transaction I was working on and making sure my daughters understood what P&Ls were and balance sheets, right? And why if you kept good business records that when you go to get some money for somebody, it ain't a problem. So, but you got to teach kids that type of stuff, right? And let them know that you can operate at a very high level, controlling your own destiny, You're on destiny. You ain't waiting nobody to create no job for you. You're doing those things right. You're creating jobs. You're creating opportunity.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to comment on two particular things. Obviously, this past week, not only locally with the news of Dr. Robinson's resignation, but the transition to Dr. Timothy Beard and what just this process looks like for FAMU. What kind of things needs to be in place for FAMU to continue to grow, but then also give you an opportunity to comment on Vice President Harris and becoming, I believe, the Democratic nominee, even though it's not official. It's all presumed to be that she will be, and just the importance of voting this upcoming November election.
Bro, that's a lot of stuff.
I know. So if you want to go, I know, I realize that. So if you want to go one or the other, I know it's hard to talk about both. So I'll give you an opportunity to go one, A or B. I
can touch all of them a little bit. Just if I forget one, remind me. So first of all, one, obviously thanking Dr. Robinson for his service. He's been an amazing leader, right? And I'm a little bit biased, and I always believe that our leader should be a academic leading our school. Now, if they try to give me anybody but an academic, I want all y'all on this call and everybody who hear us to go fight like hell against anybody who tries to give us a political president. No way. We want an academic president, smart, sharp, and in the know. Similar to what we saw happen in Florida State. They tried it in Florida State. And when they tried to give them some political people, they said no. We want an academic, and that's what they got. And so I think that's a rallying call for the Rattlers as we go through this. Y'all be mindful of that. So we thank Dr. Roberts for his time. He was amazing. I've known Dr. Tim Beard for over 30 years. I knew him as a student when he was on campus. He's a good guy. He'll do well for us, right? I know some of his leanings in terms of how he's moved in the state when he was down in Pasco and Hernando. Kind of one of my friends worked for him down there. So he's a good guy. I don't think he'll do anything to hurt us, right? And I think he'll be good to lead us in this difficult water that we're in. We got to recognize that we have some people who are on our governance who think a little bit different than most, right? But we can talk to them and make sure and hold them accountable. And I think that as the Rattlers, the people that are serving our board of trustees, we should be clear to hold them accountable for whatever they decide to do and support them too. Okay, but give them what you got to give them, right? And not let the decisions be from their own minds all the time. Second, I would say, so that's the FAMU piece. I think FAMU will be fine. Obviously the transition works right. Graduation happens. He's going to come in. The school is doing well. Students want to come here. The school is growing. I heard all the coaches today, Coach Cozy and three of the other coaches, they were amazing, right? Yep. I mean, that assistant head coach is amazing. Special team coach is amazing. The defensive guy, they were outstanding, right? So, y'all, it sounds like we about to have another good time this fall. So, if you haven't paid your invested champions, I paid mine. They got my $1,700. So bring the football on. We got to support our team. We got to make sure they need what they need. They live in a very expensive time now, so they need our money. And I think I saw in the budget they raised almost a couple $1 million from investing champions. So y'all let's do that and support them because I'm sure it's a major centerpiece for their budget. The other issue with the VP in my campaign for state senate, right? Because that's what I'm pledging right now. Senate. It's a three-pronged thing. One is there are three things that raise the level of voters for me in this campaign. One is the abortion issue, okay? It being on the ballot. Number two, the marijuana issue. Y'all vote yes on the marijuana issue. And then three, depending on the presidential ticket, really pushing the Democratic numbers up in our district. Y'all, I think the VP is doing just that, y'all. The enthusiasm is great. I think the enthusiasm will match that of Barack Obama. Okay, match it or greater. And so it's amazing, right? And I hate it happened a little too soon before the election, right? Because the Republicans may find a way to recover, right? But right now they're on their heels. They are on their heels, right? So the VP has the challenge of trying to keep this enthusiasm going, right? To keep it going. So, but her success raises the boat for me, right? So where I have the polling that we did has already showed I beat Corey Simon with good communication by 6 points, right? Her in there helps me even more, right? And it'll have more people in this district voting really more Democratic. And I think my message to the nonpartisan people will be even because there are a couple of groups that we have to engage. Two maybe. One is making sure that folks that look like everyone on this screen right now vote. And so there's a special effort on my part. And I tell my team, my job is to get Black folks motivated to go vote for me. That's a big job because in the 2022 election, the reason Corey Simon is a senator, there are about 14,000 Black folks who didn't vote last time. Wow. And so I'm gonna be up in all them places. I told you I was in Midway yesterday. I was up in there, y'all. Brickyard Road, up in there, right? And so I'm gonna be in all those places. I'm fortunate if I drive a Toyota Tundra, so I can go all those places. And so we're gonna be in those places to motivate those people, and then the nonpartisan people. I think that I'm a centrist. I'm a centrist. I believe in looking out for everybody. I believe so that I call that a centrist. When you care about everybody doing good, that means you're in the center. So that's me. So getting those two groups motivated, I win the election. And so that's where I'm focused on doing just that. What was the last thing that I
that was, essentially just you sort of answered it, but it more so was just in general the Harris effect.
It's big. It's big. Y'all know how big it is. It's bigger than life, y'all. I mean, let me know what it changed the game. The game got changed before the eyes, right? They did Trump did the little ear thing, right? They needed no stitches. Then they had the crazy hearings about what happened, right? And the guy should have never shot at him like that, right? Not at all, right? And I'm sure they learned from it. But also too, you got to be consistent, right? I mean, this Trump thing, you can't say I care about people, let's come together, and then you're trying to make people fight. No. What I worry about though is that you all got to worry about in this country that there's some people that will follow man no matter what. I mean, what does it say about them, right? And I worry about the soul and conscience of this country and this state, that we have allowed a whole bunch of stuff to go on that isn't right. I mean, people don't stand for right. Now people standing for BS. They standing for money, and nobody who's standing up for what's right. I mean, there's a right. It ain't two rights. It's just one right. And nobody's doing that. So that was one of my motivators, is that we need, people that lead us who have integrity, who they ain't got to be perfect, right? You got to be perfect. You got to live a perfect life. You got to do everything right. But the people, there ought to be somebody that tries to do the right thing. And you believe that, if he make a mistake, he made it at full speed. He wasn't loafing on the job. And I'll share one other thing with y'all that Andrew Young came to our Alpha convention last year in Dallas, and he said something, y'all, that's kind of one of my guiding posts for this election. He said, "You know what? Y'all are not serious people," and that thing stung me, y'all. And so I'll tell y'all, as I'm doing this, I'm very serious about what I'm doing. I'm gonna beat him, right? And I got my phone right here. You can call me November 5th. Say congratulations. But I'm very focused on it, and it's business, right? It's business. I don't let nothing worry me. I'm in for it. It's kind of like one of the coaches had a great analogy today at the 220 Go. He said, we just started. We came back yesterday, and we're about to batten down the hatch and take the submarine down. I said, Coach, well put it. I mean, what a great analogy, right? We about to run to do what we got to do. So that's how I'm handling this business, right? I'm having an amazing time. I will say there's people out there who, if you have meetings and gatherings that you think where we should be with this campaign, talking to people and spreading our message, wherever it is in these 13 counties, let me know. The county is huge. It goes from Madison all the way over to Gaston County, all the way down to Port St. Joe, all the way over to where Fanny Springs hits the Swanee River, down Swanee County. So it is no joke, but I plan to be all over it. I plan to be out here and meet all of you all, talk to you all, hear what your thoughts are, right? I tell you what, y'all, you really learn a lot when you go and talk. For example, I spent some time over in Madison and Swanee County a couple of weeks ago and did not know about the water issue that was going on. They have a quality of water issue in Madison. And then in the Swanee area, they have this issue where some of the springs have collapsed because of them taking all of the spring water out of the system. Mm. And so those are some serious issues in those communities, right? Especially water, right? People don't talk a lot about water. Water is pretty important. Yeah. Water is pretty important. It's funny. I've been doing some campaign travel the last 2 weeks up until last week. When I came home and saw that we have real grass again, things had not been that good for the first part of the summer here, but the rain changed that. So getting to talk to the people, understanding what their problems are. The healthcare is an issue. Good jobs is an issue. Insurance is an issue. We got to find a way to get better jobs, though, right? You got to find a way to get better jobs that pay people money and put you in the position that if something happens to you in life, that the job is a good enough job that you're covered. Because things will happen in life, and they do.
There's the website, darylforflorida.com. You can donate. You can be a part of the team. Daryl Parks running for State Senate District 3. Doesn't matter if you are in the Tallahassee area. Doesn't matter if you're a FAMU alum. If you want to vote for somebody who's going to make a change locally and then statewide, and I'm going to speak it into existence one day nationally. He's already done some things nationally. That's Daryl Parks, ladies and gentlemen. My first SGA president. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out and say from our CEO Roy Evans. He says hello and thank you, welcome for finally coming on the network. And so not only here, the Black College Sports Network, Jericho Broadcast Networks, whatever we can do to support your campaign, you've got our support.
So me and Roy go all the way back.
I do, yes,
all the way back,
all the way. Yes.
And I appreciate the love, but I appreciate his vision, right? I watched him, start his network, start doing things out in the broadcast world, and this is amazing to see. I'd never seen this platform, so this is pretty cool, high level, good quality, and I'm wishing you guys the very best. This technology we have, y'all, is amazing, right?
Yes.
I mean, amazing of what we get to do, and let me say this here. I think Roy, have your salespeople get in contact with me, right? Because I know we're using digital platforms too for this campaign. Now I'm new to this thing, but I know in that budget I saw digital lines, right? So,
you be getting a call. I know,
but because Bryan, let me say this here now. I ain't doing this shit for me. I ain't gonna make no bunch of money off of this, right? This is about opportunities for other people too, right? The diversity you'll see on my team, right? Even on my fundraising side, there's some people that look like us on my digital team. Right? He ain't got all the business, but he damn sure got a piece of the business, right? And I found a way to include him in the piece to be a main focus, and he's very talented, So it's amazing. So our people have to always think about how the money's gonna spread out, right? Especially think of a race like mine. My race is a $6 million race.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of people touching some money, and so they got to work for it now. They got to work for it, but as a candidate, I can't be in there because I got little consultant folks saying, "Hey, I can do this." Okay, that's fine. He can too. So it's always important, and remember this, man. When you support our businesses, especially if it's people who ain't selfish and who know hire our people, give them opportunity. You know, Kelvin, you mentioned one thing about Park School. The best thing we ever did at the firm, y'all, through the years was we had interns at our office every semester, right? There'd be times I'd have so many interns, I ain't had nowhere to put them, right? But if it was a smart kid, I thought we needed to at least have them in the room, in the air, bring them. We'll figure it out. I remember one time, as we were first getting started, a kid, I was a favor for a friend of mine. His boss had a son who was going to law school. I gave him my bedroom so that kid could stay there and let him bring his girlfriend too. So it was, you know, you did what you have to do to give people opportunity. My point. And I remember one summer we must have had 8 law interns. One summer, 8 law interns. But those people never forgot that. They gave them their start. Most of them are great lawyers. Last year, I went and invested 2 judges who came out of the firm. That was amazing, right? And we weren't a big firm, but when you give people an opportunity early to learn and hone their skills, it gives them a leg up because most places don't give people just outright opportunities straight out the gate. We did.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for your time this evening. Again, you guys make sure to
let's vote. Let's vote.
Yeah, get out.
Donate first, then vote. But let me say this: as you go to donate, give me your best, y'all. Give me your best. Don't give me that penny offering or that mission offering. Give me that real offering.
Amen. There it is.
Hey, thank you. I enjoyed it, y'all.
.com. Make sure to be a part of the team that's going to make a difference, not only in Tallahassee and the Big Bend area, but also in the state of Florida as well. Daryl, thank you for your time. We'll see you down the road. We'll probably see you at the kickoff luncheon, August 10th. I know you'll be there.
Got my tickets today, baby.
See, there it is. There it is. All right. All right. That's what I love to see. All right. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Daryl.
All right. Got to say thank you again to Attorney Parks. Let's avoid going to any kind of break because we got our coach. Let's bring on the coach of the O&G Women's Sport Team of the Year. None other than Coach P. Coach Camise Patterson. Coach, congratulations to you, the Lady Rattlers, on being voted our Women's Sport Team of the Year. We are sad but glad for you. I want to give you the floor and just kind of talk to Rattler Nation because, you know, it had to be tough, but, you know, sometimes tough decisions have to be made.
Yeah, first of all, thank y'all for voting us the FAMU Women's Sport Team of the Year. We had an amazing season. As y'all know, we had 9 postseason awards. I was the co-coach of the year. We came in second place behind Jackson State in the tournament, finished number 1 on the East Side in the SWAC. So we did some amazing things this year. 3 young ladies took home personal awards. You know, Zoriana Hughes took home 2 of them, co-freshman of the year and pitcher of the year. And then we also had Sam Smith take home the newcomer of the year award. So we had an amazing season. And to Rattler Nation, I sent something out on social media today, but I'm definitely going to miss y'all. I'll still be, I won't say I'll be around, but I'll still be nearby. This was definitely, I won't say the toughest decision of my life, but the toughest decision of my coaching career, to leave FAMU and to pursue different things. I think everybody understands that, you know, while it's not personal, it's not a personal decision. If it was personal, I would have been here. I would have made sure that all my players graduated. I would have been the next coach, Veronica Wiggins, but this was a professional decision. And sometimes those are harder to make than the personal decision. So professionally, I think this is a great move for me. I will be very, very sad to be leaving the orange and green, but I'm excited to be wearing the black and gold. So like I said in my post, y'all really, the community, the university, the program, Tallahassee, y'all have taken me in. I came down here in 2016, and I did not think that I would be down here for 8 years. I didn't think that by 2024 I was still going to be in Florida, but here we are 8 years later. And I have nothing but love for FAMU. I couldn't speak a bad word about them if I tried. To my players, I'm definitely gonna miss y'all. Like I told them earlier in the week, I told them late last week actually that my number's not gonna change. My phone number's still gonna be the same. So all y'all people out there who still have my phone number, it's still gonna be the same. Don't be scared to hit me up. Y'all might see me here sometimes because it's kind of hard to leave home, and I do consider Tallahassee home. So while I'm excited, this is very much a bittersweet moment. But I think God has something big planned for me.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you, Coach, for your service to FAMU. I adore everything about you and what you did. You bet on yourself when you took the head coaching job because you got it in January, and ran right into a season, and you were still trying to get staff together, and and a whole bunch of other stuff, and you took your lumps early, and then but you kept on the grind. You're doing the work. Did never heard a negative word, never complained. You just put in the work, and then you came back the next year and corrected, and boom, you leave East champion and went up in the tournament. So everything you did and how you did it, I appreciate it. It didn't go unnoticed. Rally Nation, we appreciate you. We love you and wish you the best. Now, in terms of my question, so
All right.
just talk about the things that attract that from a professional standpoint that made Alabama State attractive.
um, I would say when I got on campus, something that was very attractive to me is that, of course, nobody spoke a negative word about Alabama State, similar to FAMU. They talked about the culture and how it feels like home, and the family aspect of everything. But um, you have to look beyond that, because it's the same thing I would get at FAMU, and we have to look at what the language and lingo is of the administration, from the top, from the president all the way down through the AD to the SWA to compliance, academics, to the coaches, assistant coaches, and the players, and everybody had the same language. They talked about what the goal is. They talked about how I'm sure everybody knows, like, the word for Alabama State is dominate. They talk about how we want to dominate. And then they showed me how they're putting their money into their facilities, how they're putting their money into their sports programs, how if baseball gets something, softball gets the same thing. And you don't get that at a lot of schools. Not saying that FAMU doesn't do that, but there's a lot of schools who don't do that. We still have some Title IX issues at other universities, and it was very clear at Alabama State that they care about their women's sports, they care about their women coaches, they care about their women athletes, and they care about the professional development and the personal development of everybody that's involved in the athletic department. And if y'all know anything about me, I'm always reading, I'm always doing research, I'm always scouting, I'm always watching film. I'm gonna do my homework, and I love being able to engage in personal and professional development. So when I had my final conversation on my interview with Dr. Jason Cable, the AD there, and he talked about the metrics they have in place to measure professional development and the programs they have in place for professional development, it resonated with me. And when I went home, it took some time, for me to come to a decision. But the more I prayed on it, the more that God just really revealed that this is the place I'm supposed to be. And while I've had a fantastic time in Tallahassee, impacting the lives of young women and the community, it's time for me to go impact some other people now.
Okay.
Marcus, what do you got?
Coach P, once again, to kind of echo what Kelvin said, thank you for what you brought to FAMU, your spirit, your enthusiasm, your professionalism, and just continuing to lift the program up and raising young ladies who will be constructive and purposeful young women in life. I guess my question, in terms of, was this opportunity, was it something that was unexpected, or was it a prolonged timeline, or kind of like a whirlwind type thing?
It's a whirlwind right now, trying to find somewhere to live in Montgomery, figuring out, I did buy my house and figuring out what to do with my house, and, just trying to make sure that I'm being able to be there and be present for the team with the administration to get things done that need to be done. it's been a whirlwind lately. But the process happened pretty quickly. Alabama State was not the only school to pursue me, and a lot of times I talk to my dad about opportunities and how we're always looking for. We want to have options. We want to have opportunities because that makes you marketable, and how when you have a really good season, people are going to come. And I kind of expected people to come a little bit earlier. And I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. I just kind of felt like, hey, like something's in the work. God's got something going on that I can't see. And while it happened a little bit later than I thought it would, when the other schools came calling, it was, I think it reflected the work that I've been putting in my 8 years here, from a volunteer all the way up through the head coach appointment of the last 2 years. So it has been a whirlwind, to answer your question, but thankfully, I've got some people helping me figure some things out, and when I get there, I'll be there and I'll be ready to go.
A quick follow up to that, and I know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, before you came on, and I know Kelvin and I talked about it years and years ago in terms of athletic departments, and specifically HBCU athletic departments crafting and fashioning themselves such that coaches are put in a position where they can get a promotion to a different position, which preferably would be a promotion. To what degree, or what advice would you give to any athletic department in order to make sure that the department is set up for such an opportunity, as we see different coaches in different sports from FAMU that have gone on, most of them been in football, but in some other sports that move on up the ranks as it relates to professional level? What advice would you give to the departments in order to craft or change the paradigm, but not only for the department, but for the fans as well, because the fans have a stake in that as well, in order to position the department for the young coaches who have ambition and aspirations to get promoted?
I think for the fans, alumni, and boosters is, even if y'all don't like the decisions made by an athletic department, please continue to donate. It helps supplement a lot of things that we need as coaches and as staff. So while you might not like the fact that I'm leaving, please continue to donate to the softball program at FAMU, because it makes a big difference with things that we can do. From an athletic department standpoint, I think the biggest thing is we can operate like a Power Five without having to operate like a Power Five. So we can do the same things they're doing, just on a smaller scale, on a more affordable scale. And I think that would help the coaches understand what it's like to be at that mid-major, that Power Five level once they leave. The disadvantage that we have at some HBCUs, again, not saying Alabama State or FAMU have these disadvantages, but a disadvantage is that sometimes when we go on to another appointment, we're behind. We don't understand the technology because we haven't had it. We don't understand, some of the film breakdown that we can use, some of the scouting tools that we can use, because we haven't had those things in place at some of these other universities. And it happens at mid majors too. So my ask would be that, HBCUs, mid majors, smaller schools, D2, JUCOs, that we start to get on board with some of the technology advancements that are available to the different sports, so that once your coaches do have a chance to leave and to go somewhere else, that they're able to fit in seamlessly.
Coach, let me ask flat out, in terms of staffing and wants versus needs. Let me ask that question. Wants versus needs. Are you getting what you need? Are you getting what you want from
Yes,
Alabama
and
State?
yes. Yes, and yes, definitely.
And that from what's been reported, or what I've read in terms of staffing wise, we know while you were at FAM, you only had one assistant, a grad assistant, and one assistant. What kind of staffing will you have available to you at Alabama State?
I'll go based on last year. Last year, Alabama State had 2 full-time assistants and 2 GAs, 2 graduate assistants. So that's one reason why I'm encouraging the fans, the boosters, and the alumni to continue to donate, and make sure that you earmark your gifts. Like if you want to donate and you say, hey, like this is for the softball GA. This is for the softball second, assistant position. Make sure you earmark that so that it can go towards that specifically, because that is the way that we can continue to make sure that we're on the same, that FAMU's on the same pace as some of these other schools, not just Alabama State, but also, the mid-major, the Power Fives. A recent legislative change that we had going into last year is that now softball coaches or softball staffs are allowed to have 4 paid staff members, 4 paid coaches. So you can have your head coach and 3 paid assistant coaches. And so we start to see a disadvantage when departments have less than what's needed. That just means it's more work on the coaches, it's more work on the head to make sure that everything is getting done, that nothing's falling through the cracks. And so, when you step on a field and you look across the field and you see the head coach, you see 3 paid assistants, you see 2 graduate assistants, you see the student assistants, you see the player development person, you see the director of ops, and then you look at your dugout and it's like, I have 1 full-time assistant and 1 GA. It feels a little daunting. So y'all donate. I'm going to continue to say it. Foundation number is 0006. Give money to FAMU, even though I will not be here. I do still plan on donating as I can, because it does make a difference.
I appreciate you sharing and letting people know that. I think one of the other questions that has come up by a lot of Rattlers and people who have, when they saw we were going to have you on, they wanted to know, did FAMU, and I'm asking more so in terms of a timeline, and you can be as loose or as specific as you want to be here, but when the opportunity presented itself from Alabama State, was there an opportunity for Florida A&M to match, to even present something competitive to you that kind of made it really, really, really hard? Other than how hard it was an opportunity presented to say, we can match in this? Let people know what you can in terms of the background about that, because I think that's a lot of questions that we have gotten about. Did we have an opportunity to match?
As far as like, did I make my decision as soon as Alabama State offered, or did I allow FAMU time to make an offer? There was time. There was time.
There was time. Okay. And given the fact that there was time, flat out, was an offer made to match? Was an opportunity to match presented?
The opportunity to there was a counter, I'll say that, and I'm gonna keep it very PC, because
Sure.
I do have another
Sure.
school to go to, and I want to make sure I don't disparage FAM in any way. But there was a counter offer made, and I felt like Alabama State offer is still just better.
Okay, that's fair. Marcus, Kelvin, any final questions? Any additional questions you want to ask Coach?
No. I'm losing my coach.
No, again, I'm very proud, man. And you're a rising star, man. And I know you're gonna do well where you at. Like I say, you earned the what you got. You should feel valued. And people, it's one thing to say they value you, but they show you with what they do. So I'm glad for your opportunity. It's our loss, and we're still, because you're a friend of the O&G. You can come on even, and talk. I now I might help you when you bring your team in here still.
Oh no. Well, I would expect nothing less. I know whenever it's time for us to come back and play FAMU hour, I'm gonna have the thickest skin possible, because I know y'all going to give it to me, and I expect nothing less. And I'll be excited to be back, to be able to hear the fans, and y'all see me out here in these streets until I leave. Don't try and beat me up, because like I said, I do love FAMU. I do feel like I bleed orange and green, and I definitely consider FAMU and Tallahassee home. But when we come back, it's gonna be a battle. I'm gonna say it like that. It's gonna be a battle, because I'm gonna try and make sure that my team is ready to take on the team that we built here at FAMU. And I expect nothing less than for some people to try and get under my skin, which is it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Coach, I mean, I'm to echo everything that the guys have said. Your style of coaching is a big win for Alabama State, and I feel like of all the programs in the SWAC, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it real loud. Of all the programs in the SWAC, we're only chasing one, and that's in the state of Alabama. I'm going to say it again. There's only one program that we are chasing in the SWAC for supremacy. It's the team and the program that has the cup, and they just got a little bit, they got a little bit closer to holding on to the cup by getting our coach. Yeah, I said it to all of the folks in the chat room. There's only one program that we're chasing, and that's Alabama State. And it starts. You're working. You got Dr. Jason Cable is an outstanding leader. And just from a university perspective, they seem to have figured some things out at Alabama State. They got it right. And so we continue to talk about doing more with more here at FAMU, but I'm gonna say it with Coach on the video call. We have to value and support our championship coaches, and it starts with us as alums, as supporters and fans. We've got to be a part of the boosters. We got to be a part of supporting our programs, and then we have to make sure our administration, whether it be athletic and university, know that we can't let successful coaches get plucked away from our conference division rivals. Unacceptable. So with that said, Coach, I wish you the best. Congratulations. Any final words you wanna say to Rattler Nation out there as we just kind of close the segment with you?
I really don't have too much more to say. I think I've said everything. I love FAMU. I'm always gonna love FAMU. This is my second home. My parents are my first home. This place is my second home because of all the love and the growth that I've had since I've been here. I think we talk about at FAMU the administration, AD Tiffany Sykes. She talks about chasing the Commissioner's Cup, and I think that you are right with that. Is that FAMU is the one chasing Alabama State right now, and there's an opportunity for FAMU as a whole and for FAMU athletics to continue to grow and to get better and better. And I think when FAMU reaches that potential, I think that they may be unstoppable. But it's going to take some work. It's definitely going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of support from y'all. Again, despite how you feel, despite what you think, despite what you want to say, like FAMU needs your money. FAMU athletics needs your money. And so whenever you have a chance to donate, again, I'm always going to advocate for y'all donating to FAMU, especially softball. Foundation number 0006. Donate. But yeah, to the community, y'all, thank you again. I love y'all. I'll be around. I'll be back sometime. So y'all might see me. You don't have to do a double take. Just come out and say what's up. And we'll keep it pushing. But I look forward to battling on the field, and I look forward to still supporting FAMU off the field.
I'll offer this one suggestion, and I saw it. I think it was Edwin Moore in the chat. Coach, whatever they do up there, and I don't know if they have any great shows that cover Alabama State sports like us, but what they do need to find you a podcast. Somebody needs to create a softball Coach P show. I'm talking to anybody from Alabama State who might be watching and listening. Y'all need to find a way to do more shows with Coach P. I mean, she's one of the best. She is a rising star. She is a star, and so y'all need to find a way to do a podcast or shows featuring Coach P, because I know you're gonna kill it up there. And I'm praying for us, because we got to deal with you. But I just wanted to give that and say that was a great suggestion by I think it was Edwin Moore in the chat who threw it out there about you need to figure out, because just with all the things you talk about in terms of the sport of softball and just
Yeah.
athletics and sports. I mean, you've got a great perspective. So if some enterprising person up there is thinking outside the box, then y'all need to get on it. So I just thought
Hey, I would love it. I would love it. I thought about starting a podcast last year. I have all the podcast equipment that I need. So I just need somebody who's got some, some coins and some time to go ahead and say, hey, let's get this thing off the ground. But I'd be more than happy to be on a podcast. I'd be happy to be on this podcast if y'all want me to be.
Hey, Don, say less.
Hey, Les, we might have to talk. I have to talk offline, Coach. We might have to find a way to get you in a part of the Black College Sports Network. We might have to, figure out somehow the way to bring you into the family. I can't let you just walk away for nothing. So we'll figure it out. I'll reach out to you offline, Coach.
Okay.
But stick around, Coach, and we'll talk here shortly. But thank you for everything you've given and done for FAMU, and the softball program is in a better place. And we just pray that we can keep it going.
Yep. All right. Thanks, y'all.
All right, Coach. Hang tight if you would there with us. All right. All right, fellas. Man, that's tough. Tough, man. Okay. Final news and notes, thoughts, guys, as we get ready to wrap up. Marcus, you got anything to close out the show with?
Well, we got a commitment from baseball today. A pitcher he's been around. He's class of 2022. His name is, I just had it up. Gosh, there it is. Zach Sigmund. And he's class of 22 out of Vero Beach. And apparently he spent a year at Valley. I think his freshman year is at Valley. So he pitched there for spring 2023, then made his way to JUCO, Florence Darlington Technical College in Florence, South Carolina, where his team seemed to be pretty loaded. They made it to I believe it's the Division I College World Series. They were a fourth place team. So I don't know. I saw some other players get accolades. So I don't know how much of a contribution he made, but he verbally committed to FAMU probably about 5 days ago. And I just happened to see it today. So we got a picture up for baseball. I don't know if we have any more. I haven't seen any roster updates for football when I checked earlier. I didn't check basketball to see if we got any new names that popped up.
All right. Let's see. Kelvin,
vote for Honda Battle of the Bands. Vote for the Marching 100. The Honda Battle of the Bands site for 2025. This is 2025. They have open voting. I think voting ends sometime at the end of August, maybe. There you go. So make sure we go and vote for the 100 to be able to go out there. The battle bands have moved to California to SoFi Stadium, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, which is home of the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Rams and the Chargers, I think this year.
Yeah, so it's going international now. It's a big deal, and it's exposing the West Coast to the HBCU culture. So let's make sure we do that. Football is
Hold on a second. Just regarding the band thing, you can vote daily. I think I did see a post by somebody, either the Marching 100 or somebody, that you can vote daily. So I think it's one vote per day. So you can kind of put it on your schedule to do and go vote. HondaBattleTheBands.com. All right, go ahead, Kelvin.
Of course, football season is upon us. We 4 weeks away, essentially, from our first game. The team has reported. Coach said a lot of positive things. There you go. We got a number 20th ranking in Lindy's.
The only HBCU. Only HBCU on this list.
And all the coaches that Daryl mentioned, he was at the 220 Club today, and the coordinators, all the coordinators, and Coach Cozy was there. And essentially, what they communicate is what we've been seeing. If you look at the signing class we signed, along with what we have returning, it's pretty clear that on paper we have a group of 5 FBS type squad in terms of size, speed, depth, talent. Now we still have to see all that come together, and you know, you have to have the team chemistry, got to have some luck, got to stay healthy. But get ready, man. Get you season tickets. I already got my tickets for the Me at Sweat challenge. I got 4 of them as a matter of fact, and
club level in our section, right? Hopefully.
No, not those 4. I got some more. Some other people brought those. So yeah, but I do have some folks who already going to be a part of that. So we got a reason to be excited is all I'm saying. So make sure you support the boosters. Come to the kickoff classic. I think there was one other thing. Let me see here.
Reminding everybody again, if you haven't bought your tickets for the MEAC Swag Challenge, go to justlookingout.com. Use the code StrikeZone. Club level seats, $79. And just in case you want to see where they are right there in the shaded area, right there, that nice circled section there, section 316. So again, justlookingout.com. Appreciate Mike Reed for looking out. Literally.
Two house cleaning things, and I'm done. Kenna Bowling name to the East West Shrine Bowl 1000 watch list. So was Cardell Thomas, former FAMU offensive lineman. He's headed to what was it, Central Missouri, I think.
Central Missouri.
Yeah, and also Quay Davis, who was listed as a commit coming here, is headed to Southern.
Right. Yeah. So again, I just want to put this up here. Again, top 20 ranking, only HBCU in the Lindy's top 20. Okay. So just kind of sit on that for a second. And then I want you to just sit on that. So, all right. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be, but just know we coming for people this year, and we got a squad. Don't doubt it. Let me see. Just a simple reminder: tomorrow, if you want to find out more about the FANG Exchange and NIL opportunities and how the FANG Exchange is going to work with FAMU student athletes, right there tomorrow, 8 p.m. YouTube FANG_exchange. That's how you can check out the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I know it's a very new channel. There may not even be an intro video or anything up yet, but Ashley and them will take care of that. But join. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell notification so that way you know that when they get ready to go live, you can find out more about the FANG Exchange coming up. Camp starts tomorrow, 6 a.m., fellas. Football camp starts. Speaking of camp, want to remind anybody, last chance, anybody that has a middle school volleyball player, our FAMU volleyball team put out the notification, last opportunity to sign up for camp. If you got a middle schooler, there's the information for the camp. It's this upcoming weekend, the 26th and 7th. It's a 2-day camp. So make sure to check that out. If you follow FAMU Volleyball on Twitter or Instagram, I know they posted this same flyer information, so you can get it from off of there as well. But just had to make a short mention of that. And lastly, I will conclude by just reminding you guys to join us. If you want to sit at our table for the kickoff luncheon on August 10th, you have to go be a member of JBN's YouTube channel. Okay, so you got to go join the channel, myjbnonline/join, youtube.com. Go join your membership. We will have the drawing. We'll do it sometime this evening, and we'll kind of decide who we're gonna invite to be a part. So you got tick. You got minutes to go join and be a part if you want to sit with us at the kickoff luncheon on August the 10th. Me, Kelvin, Dr. Lori, and you, maybe. All right. Well, I think we got to about everything that we could get to in our time. I know some of you sent some questions in via the O&G StrikeZone at Gmail. We'll do a mailbag episode sometime upcoming, and we'll kind of see what kind of answers we can get. So appreciate those of you who sent email questions. Any questions that you have, O&G StrikeZone at gmail.com. O&G StrikeZone at gmail.com. That's where if you send us an email, you can get through to us that way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks again to Daryl Parks, attorney Daryl Parks, and Coach Camise Patterson for joining us. And don't forget to look for the BCSN's Pod Zone, BCSN Pod Zone. If you're a podcast listener, download on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, your favorite podcast platforms. You can watch not only our show, but any of the shows that are part of the Black College Sports Network, all right there in one convenient spot, BCSN Pod Zone. That's where maybe even one day Coach Camise Patterson's show will be on the BCSN Pod Zone. I'm going to speak it into existence. Okay? So appreciate everybody for watching the show, listening to the show, being a subscriber, being a member. Make sure you're following us. Share it with the family. Any parts of this that you missed, you can always rewind it. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. Some of you guys haven't done that. I'm pretty disappointed in you guys. Hit that thumbs up and the like button. I don't know why y'all holding out and not hitting the thumbs up and the like button. It's not that hard. It's one little button. It's right there. You know you like the show. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. All right. That's going to do it. Thanks to everybody again. And for Marcus, for Kelvin, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thanks for a great season number 3. Season 4 starts next Wednesday, and we will be in full camp mode as Coach Colsey and the boys get ready to run it back tomorrow, 6 a.m. when they hit the field for the start of the 2024 season. Thank you, Rattler Nation. God bless. Peace out.